Yes, people, it is happening, and it is just a madness. Remember this barely a year ago? Yeah, do you know what? I ain't even met that Frank Warren yet, but he's a small hall promoter, and I ain't got time for that, do you know what I mean? I'm busy. Gee! So what do you think of Eddie Hearn then, Frank? Hey, what do I think of him? The geezer's a bellend, isn't he? Total plank of wood, do me a fucking favour. But now, yes, the times are a-changing, and on June the 1st, Eddie Hearn's Matchroom will battle it out against Frank Warren's Queensbury on the undercard of Beterbiev versus Bivol. Yes, the most sensational fight card in history. But the big question is, who wins, baby? Who's getting knocked fucking spark out? And is Frankie boy right up against it? Let's have a look, shall we? Stay rapping. Yes, well, I've got news for you people. If you're a boxing fan and after this you're still not happy, you might as well jack it in, blimey, have a chamomile tea and call it a fucking day, fuck me. Because within the span of 2 weeks, we've got the undisputed Fury versus Usyk with a blinding undercard, and then the undisputed Beterbiev versus Bivol with the 5 versus 5 on it, baby. It's like Christmas in boxing land, and Santa keeps on delivering. Super smashing great, yes. So anyway, the presser started off with old Maurizio Salami introducing a new belt. We all went, oh yeah, fucking brilliant, well done mate, buzzing. Then it was Beterbiev and Bivol, where old Beterbiev was very outspoken.
Since 2017 you wanted to keep collecting the belts. How do you feel seeing it there and going into this fight?
I see another belt.
Why has it taken so long for this fight to happen?
I don't know. He know better. Ask him.
Yeah, hard work for Dev that one, but he is the scariest bloke on the planet, so when he gives you 2-word answers, you say, spot on, Bev, me old son, well fucking said. But anyway, let's talk about what we're all here for. Let's shave the hairy armpits of the 5 versus 5, shall we? Now, where else to start than with the matchups? So we were overjoyed to hear 2 heavyweight picks from Frank and Turki, and what a massive surprise it was when the fighters finally took their mask off. Well, sort of. I mean, we've known about these fights for about a fucking month now, innit? But still, they really are a thing of beauty, with Daniel Dubois versus El Animal Filip Hrgovic and Deontay Wilder, who signed for Matchroom, can you believe, to fight the heavy-hitting Big Bang Silip Bang. Underneath that, a tasty little fight between Hamza Sheeraz and Ammo Williams, followed by the very interesting Ball versus Ford, and finally, the battle of the light heavies, Craig Spider Richards versus Willie Hutchinson. So here are the rules. Nil points for a draw, 1 point for a win, 2 points for a knockout, and you can guarantee a cheeky little double fucking pointer in this little bad boy, I'm sure, and the captain's points are worth double. Those captains are of course Deontay Wilder for Matchroom and Hamza Sheeraz of Queensbury. Now my personal favourite and one I'm most looking forward to has got to be young Daniel Dubois and Hrgovic. Yes, as we know, Dubois made every boxing fan double happy knocking out steroid Mayweather in his last fight, and he's looking like a new man these days. Hrgovic has always been the boogeyman of the division, but the past few fights have stalled his presence a bit with under-par performances and a total load of bollocks against Mark Demori. However, I've got to say it, as much as I'm loving Dubois trash talk these days, I think he's had a bit of a nightmare starting off with this.
I'm just ready to prove, you know. We had a spar a while back and he keeps talking about that, so I'm going to just show him that people change, you know. I'm a different animal now.
So yes, if you want to know what he's talking about, it's all been a little bit hushed over the years, but apparently back in 2018, before Dubois was set to fight DL Jones, these two had a gentle spar, and Hrgovic pretty much knocked his fucking block off. Just how bad it was, only the people who were there know the truth. However, interestingly, Dubois postponed his fight just a few days later, so it must have been an absolute pasting. But as Daniel says, that was 6 years ago, and he is a more accomplished fighter these days. Hrgi's best win is Zhang in a controversial under-par performance, and outside of that it's a little bit slim, so this one is double tasty. Though I must say I think it's a solid 1-0 Hrgovic after Dubois brought the sparring up. You can't help but think that spar is going to play on Danny Boy's mind in the build-up. We shall see. So then, how's about a bit of Hamza Sheeraz and Ammo Williams? Yes, the very heavy-handed Sheeraz comes off a destruction of Liam Williams, however his best days are behind him to be fair. Then Ammo Williams comes off a solid win against Mbamba Yasser, cleaning him out in 7 rounds. Ammo will be up against the biggest puncher on his record to date, but Hamza will be up against the sharpest mover on his record also, and after being outboxed for 8 rounds by Bradley Skeet till he got a seriously controversial knockout, and when I say controversial I mean completely fucking illegal, But yes, after that the jury's still out on Sheeraz if he can deal with very clever operators who can box and move well around the ring, like the very skilled Ammo. Now Nick Ball versus Raymond Ford is a total perler. It's nothing but an absolute war, innit? Luckily Nicky Boy don't need to stand on the yellow pages to reach his opponent this time. Fucking hell, that was like watching Peter Crouch versus Danny DeVito. And with both men never ever taking their foot off the gas, this has got the makeup of a total slugfest from start to finish. And remember, Ball will have a bee in his bonnet over the very tight draw against Vargas for the WBC World title, so expecting to be in fine form looking to steal Raymond's WBA title, though Ford will of course have other ideas. Now Craig Spider Richards versus Willie Hutchinson is probably considered the lesser fight on the card, no disrespect, though it should still be a half decent scrap. But yeah, with Spider having taken Bivol the distance, having taken Buatsi to a very tight decision and beating up Crichton, who gave Lyndon Arthur a long night, he should be considered a firm favourite for this one. And I personally reckon this man is seriously underrated. He's made of rock solid stuff to give any light heavyweight in the world a hard night, so Willie will need to be on his A game to win this one. I think it's asking a lot. And finally, yes, what more could we ask for than two of the biggest punchers over the past couple of decades slugging it out to keep their careers alive? If there ain't a knockout in this one, I'll eat my fucking hat in the colossal Wilder versus Zhang. Yes, just a reminder, this is chief support by the way, not even main event. It's a mad thing, innit? So what in the name of Bomb Squad Chinese power goes down in this one, eh? Well, ultimately, your guess is as good as mine. Both men coming off a Parker loss where they did shit all, both men in the vinegar stroke of their careers, and both men capable of rendering each other unconscious at any given second. Wilder has been on a bit of a peace and love ting lately, but now he reckons he's got the fire back in his belly. Although I reckon he needs some fire in his fucking legs, doesn't he? Fuck me, I've seen bigger toothpicks. Try eating a hot dog, bruv, or do a couple of squats, bloody hell.
I have nothing to lose. I feel like I've lost a lot of things in my life, even some of the closest people in my life. It's enough of the talking. I even told my team, I don't want to hear how good I look, how I am, this and this, because I mean business. I can feel the desire and the sensation in my heart again. That hunger, that monster, that beast is coming back.
So yes, he's realised the nicey bronze bomber ain't been working, and hopefully he does show that ferociousness in the ring again, because we all sorely miss it. However, he's got his work cut out in this one, because not only is Zhang almost as powerful, but he's a southpaw, and he has a head like a fucking house. He won't go down easy, and with his accuracy and speed against Wilder's questionable defence, I cannot see Wilder not getting clocked at some point, unless he gets there first. And there we are, that's the undercard, people. Yeah, I know, undercard mad thing, innit? But with the massive bragging rights for Frank and Eddie, who does have the 5 more likely to emerge the winning team? Well, I'm gonna have a little guess at the outcome. Shoot me down if you think I'm talking bollocks, but here we go. So in my pointless personal opinion, I'd say that Craig Richards is very likely to do the business for Matchroom based on his experience and momentum at the minute. I'd lean to a knockout but couldn't say it confidently, so either way I'd expect to go 1-0 to Eddie. Hrgovic versus Dubois is a difficult one to call because we just don't know where Hrg's at these days. His last few performances have been underwhelming, and Dubois is full of confidence after beating Lance Armstrong's best mate. Even so, I think Hrgi may be much more up for this one and could be a little bit too good for Dubois on the night. Not to mention, in his mind, he's already beaten this guy badly in sparring, and that confidence edge will certainly count for something. So once again, I'm going Matchroom with 2-0, but more than likely 3-0 from a Hrgovic knockout. And then we've got Sheeraz versus Williams. Yes, another difficult one to call because both men are up against their toughest test to date, and one will finally show us to be world level. But yes, I'm struggling to see past the difficulties Bradley Skeet posed to Sheeraz, and Bradley was on the verge of retirement. A far cry from the very fresh Ammo Williams, who moves much better than Skeet. Hamza will always be dangerous with his power, but I can see a very elusive Williams in there outboxing Sheeraz and putting up yet another point for Matchroom. And then Zhang versus Wilder. Yes, now Eddie's Captain Wilder is worth a whopping 4 points here should he get the knockout, but I can't help it, I just gotta favour the Chinese power in Zhang. He's been down before, old Zhang, famously against Joshua in the Olympics and early on in his pro career, but generally he's shown a double solid chin, taking the best of Parker, Hrgovic and Joyce. I'm fully aware it's not the same, but I think his defence will be on point in this fight, with his power remaining as dangerous as ever. Wilder will have the benefit in the later end of the fight because Zhang always looks completely fucked after about 8 rounds, but I don't know if it gets there, and having only fought a handful of southpaws in his career, plus the fact that he's lost both times he's actually fought someone firmly in the top 10, I just gotta go with the Chinese power, which gives a point to Frankie Boy. And finally, Ball versus Ford. Fuck knows. This is just too tough to call. I'd hazard a guess at Raymond Ford purely based on his exceptional performance in the Kalmatov fight, but Nick will be all guns blazing and won't be letting Ford up for air. I've got a few splinters trying to guess the winner of this one, but either way, on my scorecards, even if Ball picks up a win, Eddie still comes out on top, and that's where I'm at. However, I'm just riffing, ain't I? More importantly, let me know your predictions for this epic card, cause I'm double intrigued in it, and buzzing and ting for June the 1st. Roll on, baby. Toodaloo for now. See you soon.